Okay, in just the basics, I'm now going to show you how to put interior walls into your space and possibly move them around, essentially editing your dimensions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to architecture and I'm going to go to wall and I'm going to click on interior 4 7/8 inch partition. And I'm going to now place this in. Now just keep in mind that interior walls are also set up underneath the metal stud structure. So you may have to go in and edit the assembly later if you do want to use a light frame construction, especially if you're using light frame construction for your exterior walls. So I'm going to make sure that it's going up to the right height, which is level 2. And I'm going to place it based off of the center line because I don't necessarily have specific dimensions that I'm putting in. So I'm going to draw a wall here. I'm going to take it, just put in a few of them. And in most of today's residential design, a lot of it is an open space concept, so you may not have too many interior walls to put in. And so I'm just going to put in a few just so you can understand the difference in what these spaces do or how you put them in. So I'm going to add in one more wall about here. And this will make sense here in a minute once I put these in. And actually, I'm going to take this and I'm going to continue it, this wall here, because that actually is what we want to do in this space. And for this one, I'm actually going to pull this back a little. Now, this particular wall right here is actually going to be a half wall, or sometimes we call them knee walls, because it's going to go underneath a counter space, and it's just a separation of spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this wall, and I'm going to come over here to top constraint. I'm going to change it to unconnected. Then from here, I'm going to change its height. It's going to go up underneath the countertop. My countertop is at 36 inches. Most likely is a 1.5 inch thick countertop, unless you're using granite, and then it's a different size, but we'll go with 1.5 inch. So then the height is going to be 2 foot 10.5 inches. And you'll notice now, if you look at this wall in comparison to the other walls, it obviously is a single line on both sides, and this one is a double line on both sides. And that is because these are being cut, and this one is below the cut plane. So if you're ever wondering what's happening there, that's what it is. This is what people use as little separator partitions between spaces. Now, from here, now that I have these spaces in, I can go back and I can include more doors into here, and I'm just going to grab this one and just do a right click and say create similar, because that's just the easiest thing to do. I'm going to place a door between here. This is actually going to be my garage. This is going to be a mud space here. I'm going to put a wall or a door in here because this is actually going to be a little half bath. And then this space here is going to be some stairs. So there they are. Now, say you looking at this go, well, wow, this space is really, really wide. I actually didn't mean for it to be this wide or this far over. It's taking up too much space. I need to move it. Okay, here's what you need to do. You actually click on that wall, and right now I'm going to make sure I'm going to hit my witness line, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going from face to face, because that's just the dimensions that I think I'm going to use. And I'm going to change this to something a little bit more usable, almost like this is a single stall garage. So we'll go with 10 feet. I know sometimes I actually like to use 12 myself, because you know some people want to put in. Sometimes they'll have a refrigerator out there, or a freezer, or they'll have cabinetry out there, or workspace out there. So they want to have a little bit more room, especially doors, being able to open doors, so on and so forth. Since I did that, I now need to move my other 2 doors that I had in place, and you could either use the dimensions tool, or you just use the nudge tool and take them and move them over. And you'll notice that when you do this, they automatically like to line up with each other. And then you can say, well, this space is now too big as well. Let's adjust this accordingly. All you have to do is click this wall. Don't worry about the door. Once you click the wall and pull it over, the door will move as well. And there you go. It's just that simple. That's how you put in walls. That's how you modify your dimensions.